Josh Van, a hot name here in Fury. And Mario Suazo had an absolute banger of a fight. His last fight, as you mentioned, got the win against Jesus Martinez, man. This dude is tough. And this is Josh's toughest opponent, I think. But we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's go inside the cage to wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, brought to you by Aces Performance Exhaust, is scheduled for 3 rounds in the Fury FC Flyweight Division. Introducing your first competitor, fighting out of the blue corner. This kickboxer stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in at 124.6 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he holds a professional record of 4 wins, only 1 loss. This is the fearless Josh Van. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This mixed martial artist is 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighed in at a perfect 125 pounds. Fighting out of Denver, Colorado, he holds a professional record of 2 wins, only 1 defeat. This is Mario Suazo. Your referee in charge of the action, Bobby Wambacher.
Blue gloves for Josh, red for Mario Suazo. And this fight is on.
Yeah, I just looked up Van's record. It was just 11 months ago he won the Fury amateur belt. He has had 5 pro fights then. This is number 6. I mean, talk about activity. To be young again.
Yeah, very active. And his 1 loss, Alex, is to, you know, a super high-level wrestler in Devin Jackson, who just out-wrestled him for 3 rounds and was able to pull that one out.
Yeah, and Jackson, a super athlete, as you said, and man, that was a tough fight physically to fight, but he did great in that fight, too.
Yeah.
And that was an important fight because we wanted to see if Josh could go long into fights, right? Because he was getting some quick finishes there for a stretch as well.
He's still getting him. His last fight, he finished in devastating fashion again. He's always good for an entertaining fight.
Yeah, his last fight, he actually threw a high kick, and the guy's hands were up, but it still did enough damage to drop him and get the finish.
See how this fight plays out. Mario Suazo so tough as well, the 31-year-old. Looking to climb his way back up into contention here in the flyweight division.
And Suazo's done a good job finding a home for the low kick a couple times. Van staying nice and low, nice and protected, and like right there, covering distance well. Suazo's got a pretty big frame for the weight class, long limbs. One thing that Josh Van does really well is slide in and out of range. Big right hand there from Van.
Yeah, no, Joshua Van wanted to land in the guard of Mario Suazo, but a big right hand there to put Mario Suazo on his back. See what he can do from here. I know Josh is going to posture up. Yeah, he's going to posture up, let this go back to his feet.
Good right hand there from Suazo as well. And Suazo actually cut a pretty sharp angle from that closed guard to go for the armbar, but Josh read it and stood up. And almost picked Suazo up with him. Both guys really sharp defensively. Both very aware of what's going on. It's funny, the pace difference in fights. Like the last fight we saw a great knockout, but very slow pace. This fight, super fast pace.
Man, this pace, another.
There he goes again.
Connect.
Left hook drops him. You see Suazo again cutting big angles. Van's arm is deep. This is going to be a threatening armbar. This is a deep armbar. We may see a finish here.
He's got it. That's very, very deep.
Van's doing a good job trying to just clear that elbow line. Van's right elbow, it's just maybe 2 inches deep, and he clears it. Okay, Josh out of the armbar. Good attempt there from Suazo. He's got a good armbar from the closed guard. That's the second one attacked in just 3 minutes.
Man, good escape from Josh. No panic, which is important. Because that looked like it was over.
I mean, I'll bet you it hyperextended his elbow.
Oh,
something uncomfortable.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling some pain from that. Well, maybe not feeling pain in the thick of a fight, but he'll feel it tomorrow for sure. But that arm was definitely stretched out all the way.
We'll see how that impacts his stand-up here. Nice little exit right there.
Suazo's, oh, big left hook again. That's what dropped him initially. Big uppercut here from Van. Van's finding a mark for his big shots. Well-timed double from Suazo, successful into the open guard of Josh.
He needed that. It looked like it was a world of trouble.
Yeah. I mean, he was 2 punches away from maybe even getting finished.
Yeah, and in the fight that Josh lost, that's exactly the formula that was used. Josh was landing big shots. Devin would come in, he would take him down, and then control him while he was on the ground. And so far, Suazo has tried to do the same thing. Not as much success as his former opponents have had, but doing pretty good at neutralizing Josh Van right now.
Under 1 minute left, round one. Man, we've had like 4 different storylines in round one. First round so far.
Good get up there from Van. Suazo did get his hands reconnected, but that double was almost inevitable.
Another good takedown.
Alex, you got to wonder how the judges are going to call this first round. I mean, obviously Joshua Van has done more damage. We assume he's done more damage on the feet, but I mean, got caught in a submission. He's been taken down a couple of times.
You know what? I'd agree there. He did knock Suazo down twice. One I think was off a kick slip. Another one was from a left hook. So I'd give those 2 knockdowns from Van quite a big edge. If anything, one neutralizes the armbar. Oh, big right hand to finish the round out. Good round from these guys. Fun pace. That's what you get with the flyweight. You get a fast pace and a lot of good shots thrown. We'll get the highlights here in just a second. We'll see both guys with a lot of success. So he kind of caught the kick him through the right hand. That's a knockdown, though. I think that's a fair knockdown. Here's the left hook that just slipped right under the guard, Suazo. But there's the arm bar. I mean, that's deep. And like we mentioned, you look at Van's face, he didn't panic at all. Was able to clear that elbow line and eventually get back up to his feet.
Man, you see some nice punch combinations here from Joshua Van. You know, that's the thing about him, man, is it's not one punch, you know, knockdown stuff. It's the third punch and a 4-punch combination, kind of as he overwhelms his opponents. Really nice round from Joshua Van. And good things from Mario Suazo also.
Yeah, man, that was a fun first round.
Yeah.
Good. Both guys displayed what they're really good at. Round 2, second fight of the night. Want to see if Josh starts using those kicks a little bit more.
Yeah, Suazo's standing really, really low. Oh, big left hook again. Man, Van is having a lot of success with that lead hook. It's the 3rd time he's done significant damage. Ooh, big high kick from Suazo. That's what we like about Van. He literally shook it off.
Yeah, Van not only, you know, a great striker, but also very, very tough. He can take a punch also.
Yeah, you saw Van, he thought about going for that guillotine, but he elected to take his arm out and try to dig for underhooks, which he has now, looking to stuff the head. So, man, when you're having success with a left hook, it's not as much the left hook that's going to finish the fight. It's the left hook hurting them and then the right hand that's going to put him down. I think a good adjustment Van could make is to be patient, find the left hook, but just rifle off a straight right after.
Good knee there, working up against the cage.
Something we're not seeing Suazo do is utilize that whizzer. If Josh wanted to, he could body lock and duck right under him. He elects to do damage with knees. Just kind of throws him down. And Van's all over him.
Josh's pace is so much fun.
That's that high C takedown. Suazo kind of countered the guillotine, didn't really commit to it, and gave the takedown out.
I wonder, was that a good move by Josh right there?
The high C, absolutely. You got to keep your hips in super tight, and you got to instantly either take the back or transition off to a double. But I think Josh felt the half-hearted guillotine attempt there from Suazo and was just happy to take the takedown. But like he saw in the first round, he's got to watch those elbows. Like Van has to keep his elbows in tight to prevent that potential angle and armbar from Suazo.
The reason I'm asking is he's had so much success standing there now in the guard of Suazo. He's still working, is Josh. He's still peppering in some nice shots.
Josh has a good wrist ride. broken pretty quick. Or do you mean the tactic of going for the takedown? You know what? I'm a striker by trade. I like letting guys stand up when they're hurt. I think that could have been a good choice from Josh, but he knows what he's doing on the ground.
Does look a lot more comfortable on the ground, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, he's, you know, and he's dealing with jiu-jitsu right now. He's not dealing with wrestling as much from Mario Suazo. So a little bit easier to deal with. You know, there's definitely some danger there, but you know, not the control in jiu-jitsu, you know, on the ground that you have with a high-level wrestler.
Just past the halfway mark of round 2.
Yeah,
and now Josh getting back up.
Yeah, and good arm bars or not, if you're on your back and then you're losing, I mean, it's as simple as that. You either got to be on top or you got to be on your feet. Josh did a good job really committing to a right hand missing, but then instantly stuffing an underhook with that left side that he still has.
You hear Suazo's corner urging him to throw some more knees.
Yeah, you got to wonder if the elevation is gonna affect Josh Van at all. You know, fighting out of, you know, training in Houston, he's dealing with humidity here, elevation there. You don't know how it's going to affect him.
Yeah, that will play a significant factor for sure. Both guys throwing. So, you know, Josh can use his jab, set up that 3, and then just crack a 2. Let's see him having success with that combination.
And Josh smells blood in the water. He is teeing off now. Mario hunching down just a little bit. And that fight is there for the taking for Josh. And he is throwing everything he has right now.
Yeah, it looks like the elevation is actually affecting Mario Suazo. He's having a hard time standing up there. Of course, when you got the Myanmar Mauler just constantly throwing punches at you, very difficult to stay standing.
See, it looks like Josh is setting up an anaconda choke. He elects to take the back. I mean, he's going for a calf crush.
Oh,
look, I think he's going to hit this.
Oh, he's got that. That's very, very tight.
And hits the tap.
Yeah, beautiful submission from Joshua Van. On one of those, Alex, you can't let those go too long. That knee will explode on those calf slicers. But beautiful jiu-jitsu there from Joshua Van. Nice finish.
I mean, to have the frame of mind to think about an anaconda choke, choose to expose the back, you know, step that inside hook, and then sit down to the calf crush. You don't see that often at all. I mean, I've seen a few in the UFC, but that's only because those fighters are high enough level to get it. I mean, props to Van for, again, having the peace of mind and the technique to pull off such a high esteemed move.
I wonder if that's something he's been constantly working on, because he saw that opening and took it. That was beautiful, and there it is. There's that finish, and that's all Josh needed, man. What a huge round 2 win for Josh Van. We've seen him now win every style possible, every way possible. I love it, the evolution of young Josh Van.
There's no way you beat him for submission of the night. There's no way. I don't care what we see. We can see a Gogoplata. I just don't think that's going to beat it.
Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 8 inches tall, and he weighed in at 126 pounds. Fighting out of Katy, Texas, he holds a professional record of 7 wins. Only 1 defeat. This is Paris Moran! And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 125.4 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he holds a professional record of 5 wins, only 1 defeat. This is the fearless Josh Van! Your referee in charge, Professor Joe Solis.
Man, we are like kids on Christmas morning right now. I'm so pumped for this fight.
You know, this is a good one because, you know, Paris is so technical, and Josh got great technique, but he's a bit more of a dog. I guess we'll find out in a second what kind of pacing we're going to look at in this fight.
Here we go. Blue gloves for Paris, red for Josh.
Paris did fight it at 135 as an amateur. This is a big flyweight. Seeing him in the cage, Paris has the size advantage. Has never stopped Joshua Van in the past. I remember calling Van's last amateur fight just recently for the belt, for the Fury amateur belt.
Yep. Yeah, it just seems like yesterday, and then, you know, for a while, he was on almost every card we called.
Yeah.
This is his 11th time inside the Fury FC cage as a pro and amateur combined. Has that 3-fight win streak in 2022.
Nice high kick from Van, but he was a little close. Paris eats it and catches it and scores a takedown. Paris sits in the open guard of Van as Van gets busy with some elbows. That's the only bad thing about Paris's cool hairdo is if he gets cut, everyone's gonna know it.
Oh, yeah.
A triangle setup here from Van.
Oh, man.
Paris crowds it with the hips and elbows. That was a really crafty way to neutralize that threat.
Yeah, and we said it earlier, we thought maybe Josh Van might have had the advantage on the ground, and Paris maybe the advantage standing up.
Yeah, which is crazy because, you know, Van's, you know, kind of a striker, and Paris comes from a jiu-jitsu spot. Good body shot there from Josh Van. Another good catch from Paris.
Yeah, that was kind of my question. I wonder how much offense Paris Moran would take for us saying that Joshua Van is the better grappler, because, you know, not afraid to go to the ground with him. You know, very effective on the ground so far.
Well, Paris's grappling is very by the books and very technically clean. You know, one thing about Paris's coach in his corner, Alex Cisne, he's a Sen Shao fighter. And it's like, it's striking with takedowns. They do a lot of caught and kick takedowns, and it's looking like that was a big part of Paris's game plan, or even I should say arsenal in this fight so far.
Yeah, and in fact, Paris himself, a 7-time national champion in Sanshao, a Pan American champion. You know, he's very, very decorated in Sanshao before he even started MMA. So, you know, started doing jiu-jitsu very, very young, as we saw on the opening. And so, you know, very, very skilled. A very skilled fighter all the way around. And, you know, when we say one has an edge over the other, it's very, very slight, if any.
Yeah. Sanshao, one of the traditional martial arts that actually is good for MMA. Good timing on that knee, yeah.
And so far, Paris showing to be you know, more than Josh Van can handle in just about every position they've been in so far. He's winning the striking and the grappling.
Yeah. You know, Van hit a good, you know, one and then a cross to the body, but that's been about it. So there's another good 1-2 to the body. But I mean, other than that, Paris is really the one kind of in control.
We have seen this out of Joshua Van before. We've seen him take a little bit of punishment. We've seen him come back from behind and win some fights.
Paris has gone the distance a few times, though. He's comfortable with a 3-rounder.
Funny.
Exchanges.
Josh is the total opposite, has never left the second round in pro fights, and only twice as an AMI it went the distance. So he is all about the finishes early.
So one of those fights was a championship fight for Fury's amateur title, and it went all 5 rounds. So he did get 15 minutes in the cage.
He's been so good to start his professional career. Nice connect there for Josh.
Paris reached a little bit on that jab, and Josh came right over the top with that lead hook.
1 minute left in round 1 of our co-main event.
This crowd is going crazy here. Each one having about an equal amount of fans, it sounds like.
Yeah, they both do their job selling tickets.
Yep.
Houston, Texas showing out. Katy, Texas showing out. Suburb of Houston.
So they got to get that strap fixed. I mean, that was a well-thrown high kick. There was power on it for sure. But Paris catches it and scores. Honestly, those caught kick takedowns, I think, have been the most notable action in the fight.
Yeah, and as long as the fight stays technical like this, I think Paris has the edge here. But the dirtier this fight gets, and you know, kind of the more this turns into a brawl, it kind of changes on the feet to advantage Joshua Van, I think.
Yeah, in the last 30 seconds or so, Van has pressed forward a lot more.
Man, that was a quick first round that flew by.
We're all kind of holding our breath. the fight delivered too. It was technical, but it was also like pretty brutal. They were both throwing big shots, big high kicks.
Yeah, nice. The shin landed right on the cheekbone of Paris Moran, but he kind of walked right through it. Grabbed it after it landed. Took Josh Van to the ground. Nice elbows there. Maybe close to 12-6 elbows, but no call there. So obviously not. But
so you know what? Oddly enough, if the elbow's going upwards, it's not a 12-6. So it's actually impossible to throw one from guard unless the person's like head is under your armpit and you're posted up. I've asked a bunch of refs that question because I like to elbow off my back myself.
Yeah.
Josh not sitting down, by the way, no stool in there, standing up to recover for round 2.
He's 20 years old. He got energy for days.
Yeah.
Is that Artinas Young there in the corner as well for Josh?
Yeah, Chico.
Yeah, is that Chico?
It's a Houston OG if I've ever seen one.
Man.
Much love to my boy Chico.
I believe he just got just had a Muay Thai fight, right?
One with a TKO by low kicks. Nice to see his hand get raised. He did a lot for the MMA scene back in the day.
Man, this crowd is going crazy. You see the pro Josh crowd making all that noise, countered by the pro Katie Paris Moran crowd. Nice kick to start round 2 for Paris Moran.
And there's not very many instances where we sit here cage side and we kind of can't hear ourselves talk through our headsets, but there for a second there it got pretty loud where we couldn't hear ourselves. It's pretty crazy inside here.
Ooh, nice combo there from Josh.
Rocked him. Paris is rocked. Paris is rocked.
Oh, Josh Van!
Josh Van! And he's all over him.
Is this going to be enough to finish the fight? Josh Van is alone. Josh Van with the win!
Stop! Paris Moran!
The fearless called out Paris Moran and gets the win! Woo!
Whoa. Holy cow! Paris Moran took the shot, was not able to get the distance to be able to recover, and Josh Van swarmed all over him.
Man, it was a left hook just over the top, and it staggered Paris, and Paris actually called him on, but it was rocked, and then Van was just patient but unloaded.
Oh my, Josh
and,
Van,
Paris
fearless.
Paris did everything he could to try to recover too. He stayed on his feet, and props to Joe Solis. He gave Paris a lot of chances to recover. That was a good stoppage. I think Paris knows that too. Props to both guys. I mean, that was a tough fight to take for both of these guys. There was a lot of value in winning and then a big risk in losing. But thankfully, you know, huge win for Van. Puts him at 6-1. Paris is now 7-2, which is still a great record. We'll look at the highlights here. And look at the left hand of Josh Van. Bang, right there. Just left hand over the top. Paris tries to find his footing. The high kick clips him. And then just 3-4. That's a good ground and pound there.
You're right, man. Props to Professor Joe Solis. Really gave Paris every opportunity, but just saw enough. And look at Josh just unloading. What a finish. Joshua Van continues to showcase why he's one of the hottest prospects in the flyweight division.
In like less than 2 years, he's 7-1 now. 6-1, I should say. And getting co-main event TKOs and Fury on Fight Pass. I mean, the ceiling is so high for this young martial artist. The future is bright. Congratulations to Josh Van.
Let's go inside to Wayne Leggett to make this official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Joe Solis calls for a stop to the action. 36 seconds into round number 2, declaring your winner by TKO, the fearless Josh Van.
It's that time of year that we look back on the last 12 months and sort of give a state of the state. And one of the best promotions that you can find on UFC Fight Pass is Fury FC. I got one of the big bosses himself, Eric Garcia, kind enough to join me. What a year it has been, Eric. I mean, it all starts off with Fury FC 100, 12 months. It kind of culminates with Joshua Van becoming the UFC's flyweight champion. Obviously, Josh has been in the UFC for a moment, but it feels like that was an accomplishment for you guys at Fury within this year as well. Do you feel like that was like a highlight of 2025?
Oh yeah, that was a way to top the year off, and I was in attendance for that, so it was really cool, and I got to go to his Airbnb after and actually hold the belt. Just made it so real. Yeah, it's great. It was great.
Yeah, that's something I think that is very unique about the Fury FC fighters, the alumni that come through your promotion that get to the UFC and then shine. Like it feels like you are almost an incubator. Do you feel like obviously it was Josh's, accomplishment, but does it feel like it was, yours and Rich's accomplishment as well?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, especially for somebody like him that we got when 19 years old, and the day that I met him back in like March 21 maybe or March 2020, and he told me I'm gonna be a UFC champ one day. When he actually got that belt, it took me back to that moment. And I was like, man, we watched this kid grow up in the Fury cage and get better and better every fight, make it to the UFC, work his way up to a title fight. It's like his dreams became reality. And that can pretty much happen for any guy that sticks with it like that.
Yeah, 100%. And Joshua is such a unique individual. I know you get to meet a lot of these athletes. A lot of these guys have dreams. A lot of people probably say the same exact thing, but there's something that is unique beyond his just fighting ability. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, he's a special one for sure. Somebody that wants to fight that much, uh, and doesn't ask for certain opponents. And everything that he did in Fury FC, he took that to the UFC, and I felt like he became probably one of Mick Maynard's favorite guys because he would call him, and there was no hesitation. It's like, okay, let's go, let's do it.
Yeah, no, 100%. When I look at Josh too, like he's a guy that went from outside of the top 15 to a world champion in like 3 fights.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's insane. I know. I think there was one year that he fought for us like 6 times or 7 times, and I mean that's insane. It's unheard. And he goes in there and he's doing the same thing like in the UFC.
It's a furious pace, if you will.
There you go. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Now let's talk about some of the athletes that are maybe on the outside looking in, wanting to get linked up with Fury. Like I feel like there's multiple paths to the UFC, but there is one path that I think kind of prepares you for that rigorous sort of demand that Joshua Van faced. What is it about Fury you think that makes it this unique pipeline compared to some of the other organizations out there?
I think that there's no easy fights here, and we have a lot of coaches and managers that'll hit us up and ask for some fights, and then we'll like offer a fight, and they'll say, "Man, that one's tough for my guy," and then they'll say, "You know what? Maybe my guy's not ready yet to be on the Fury roster." Because once you get here, I mean, we have a roster of killers, especially when you get into like our top 10 and the guys that are knocking on the door. When you have to stand across the cage for somebody like that, it's almost like you're in a contender series fight. And if
Yeah.
you're one of these guys that comes from another organization and you're a 6-0 undefeated guy and you come over to Fury FC and you have to roll the dice and be like, damn, I'm about to gamble my 6-0 record. You're right there, possibly knocking on contenders, or you're going to come to Fury FC and the chances of getting knocked back a couple steps, if you're not ready for that level of competition. But then I think it shows Mick and Sean when you capture a Fury FC title or you beat somebody that's won 4 straight in Fury FC. I think they can call you up either contender series or short notice, and they know, hey, this guy's going to be ready.
Yeah, I hate to use the word regional promoter because it sounds almost like a backhanded compliment. But the what you guys are doing, yeah, you're based, Texas. Seeing you guys go to New Orleans, but it feels like it's a high level, low A, upper level B class promotion. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, well, I've learned that I don't truly have to travel. Like, I don't have to leave the state in order to get talent. Like, we fly guys in. I can say, like, the last card that we just did on December 14th was 70% guys outside of Texas that were out of
Right.
town. I think
Yeah.
on the pro side of the card, we had 11 fights and there were 5 locals, and the rest of them were out of town guys. So, I'm okay with being called a regional promotion. I like to be looked at as like the college league, and the UFC is the big time, and I like to make it clear that I work with the UFC and I'm a partner. I never want to feel like I have to compete with them because I don't think we could, obviously. But the goal is to put guys in the UFC and prepare them for that. And I think there's other great organizations like that. I talk to Rob Haydek a lot from CFFC, and I feel like he's doing a fantastic job on the East Coast, and he's doing similar to what we're doing, and he's comfortable in his area, and he's doing the exact same thing.
You know what I think? I think maybe the right term is AAA promotion.
There you
You
go.
think about like baseball,
Yeah, for sure.
and you talk about, not having to travel. Eric, you make me want to move my entire family to Houston. I
You
mean,
know,
the fight
we're
fans
not,
you have there are spoiled.
yeah, we're not against traveling. And the travel, it benefits the fighters obviously more because we get some guys that are signed on the roster. A lot of these guys want to fight in their hometown, but let's be honest, when you get signed to the UFC, the chances of fighting in your hometown regularly are not high.
No.
So might as well get used to traveling now. The hub of the UFC is Las Vegas,
Yep.
and the hub of the UFC is Houston, Texas. So if you're traveling to Houston, Texas 4 times a year to fight for Fury FC, shouldn't be a problem once you get called up to fly to Vegas 4 times a year and fighting in the UFC in Vegas.
100%. Let's talk a little bit about how you kicked off the year. Fury FC 100. The centennial mark is one that a promotion doesn't really get to a lot. It's a very rare case. You kind of have some, big shoes to fill to kick off 2026 with another big show like that. What's planned for the first part of the new year?
Uh, th- so January 18th, we kick off Fury 113, and we have 3 title fights on it. We've announced them on our Instagram already. So Abdul Kamar will come in and he's gonna fight our 45 champ for the bantamweight belt. Fury 100 obviously will always be special, and it's gonna be a big show because it was number 100. But
Right.
no matter what the number is, I try and get better every event. I try and make every single event a better event than the last event. So you can expect some big things. We're gonna kick off that first card, and then we're gonna do like a 5 week run of shows. So it should be fun, be good.
That's amazing. Looking at Fury as well, like there's different levels to Fury. You have the Challenger series, you have the amateur show. I mean, you must be busy every single day of your life trying to put together and shuffling everything.
Yeah, there's no days off ever. Holidays. I work on Christmas, Thanksgiving. I'm constantly making fights, and honestly, like I need to be more mindful of the fighters and the coaches and stuff, and not message them probably on a holiday and make sure that they have their day off. But I'm constantly doing stuff nonstop, just to make this thing better and make sure it runs efficient.
No, absolutely. You mentioned Rob Haydek, CFFC. They do a great show. Have you ever thought about like co-promoting an event?
Uh, not really. I wouldn't be opposed to it, and obviously, like somebody like Rob would maybe make sense because the company names are so close.
Right. Yeah.
Uh,
Fury.
yes, it would probably something cool, but nah, I mean, I think we're good doing it the way we are. I handle everything, and me and my team, I've got a great team, and we run a very smooth ship, and everything works the way it is. So I think we're good.
There's that old saying, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. You know.
That's it. That's exactly what I go by.
So we had a breakout year for Fury again. Start with Fury 100. See the end of the year. Josh Van, a Fury alum, becoming UFC champion. Give me like two or three guys, or girls for that matter, because women have a big part of Fury. Um, what who's on the radar? You think for 2026?
Did you just watch Fury 12 and see Amaro and Milesano,
I
Andrea Amaro?
did. I did.
So that title switched hands, and Anna Milesano got it, and I believe she's knocking on the door, and I think she'd be something special in the UFC. I think Mick would love to have her. Um, I think her going the Contender Series route would be good. That way he can see exactly what he's going to get. I believe Hector Sainz is right there. He just defended his interim belt and made it he's the lightweight champ now, Fury FC. He's on a 4-fight win streak. His last 4 fights, except his last, he just got a decision, but before that, he was on a 3-fight finish, 3 finishes. I've got some flyweights that are coming up. I've got a kid, Antonio Figueiredo. That's a flyweight. He's amazing. I got another kid named Ricky Rojas. That's a flyweight. So we've got some talent that we're pushing. You know, I would hope next year that I get at least 8 to 10 guys on contenders, and then maybe 4 or 5 like get a short call in. You know, that'd be a good year for us.
That's awesome. Now, sort of final question here. Looking at Fury and looking at the future, it feels like, you know, it is one of the best pathways for an athlete. So people are definitely trying to jump towards that opportunity. What would you say? What would you say to the fighter that, you know, wants to get into Fury, that maybe hasn't had their manager reach out, or maybe they're independently, you know, running their promotion? Why come to Fury, and how to get there?
They just need to just contact us. Contact me or contact Rich. Be prepared to fight some of the best talent in the world, you know, because we do get guys outside of the U.S. So be prepared for that. We do like to sign guys to multi-fight deals. So if you're coming to Fury, make sure that you're ready to sign for 4 fights, 12 months. We will make sure that you get 4 fights in 12 months as long as you're healthy and as long as you say yes. And then just get here and perform. You know, there's not a lot of promotions that can say a UFC executive, you know, the matchmaker lives in the same city that the promotion runs.
Right.
And it's not unlikely that Mick won't show up to a show. You know, he's not at every event, but he does pop in from time to time. So come here and make the best of the opportunity when you get here.
Yeah, the future, like we say, it's forged in Fury.
Forged in Fury, 100%.
How many dates you got for 26, you think?
I know we're doing 16 pro events, pro MMA
Nice.
event. We'll probably do like 13 numbered and 3 challenger series. And then if you're an amateur fighter as well, looking to, you know, get some experience and then turn pro, we probably run 5 all amateur shows throughout the year as well.
That sounds exhausting.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I think this year we ended between jiu-jitsu events, Fury Challenger Series, and Amateur Series. I think I did 26 shows, 26
That is
events.
crazy. That is unbelievable. Eric, I will let you go. Get back to you know, running everything, but congrats on a great year, and I can't wait for what's next.
Thanks a lot, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for all the support.
And Joshua Van is the real deal.
We look at our tail of the tape, brought to you by Howler Head Whiskey. The reach advantage goes to Cleveland McLean. Height, even, weight. This is where it gets interesting. Cleveland came in at 128, so he is not eligible to win the belt. So only Joshua Van can win that flyweight title. All right, let's go inside to Wayne for our championship introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest brought to you by the Fury Unleashed podcast, powered by Howler Head Whiskey, is scheduled for 5 rounds. And it's your main event of the evening for the Fury FC Flyweight Championship. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in at 128 pounds. Fighting out of Orlando, Florida, by way of Fayetteville, North Carolina, he holds a professional record of 17 wins, 9 losses. This is Baby Beast Mode, Cleveland McLean. And introducing his opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner. This freestyle fighter stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, and he weighed in officially at 124.2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, he holds a professional record of 6 wins, only 1 defeat, presenting the fearless Josh Van. And now your referee, Jeff Rexroad, with the final main event instructions.
All right, guys, we both know the rules, so I expect a clean, fair fight from both of you. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves if you want. Back to your corner.
Man, here we go.
Yeah, it's unfortunate on the weight miss because McLean does look pretty big. I mean, he really does.
Title fight for Joshua Van. He wins, he gets the strap. Cleveland wins, does not get the strap, but does get the win, of course. Red gloves for Josh Van, blue for Cleveland McLean. Two exciting fighters. So much at stake here.
Well, if it's any consolation for him, if he does end up winning this fight, it's going to spoil a big party for Joshua Van, I can tell you that.
Yeah, McLean threw a good combo. Landed a lot of early.
Now you notice the one loss on Joshua Van's record, that's to Devin Jackson. Devin Jackson, a highly decorated wrestler, that was able to take Josh Van down and just control him for 3 rounds, and then ended up getting a rear naked choke, late in the fight. So you got to wonder if Cleveland McLean has the same game plan.
Yeah, considering this one's 5 rounds, I think this is one of those fights, the longer it goes, the more favorable for Van, because we do not see him fade often or ever.
In that Paris Moran fight, round 1, it was a pretty exciting first round. You're like, man, this is crazy. Is Josh going to be able to figure out Paris, who's such an elite striker? And sure enough, in a blink of an eye, he figured him out in round 2. Got the big win.
If Van is looking to make that step into the bigger stage, which he is, and he's close, an opponent like this is good because McLean is pretty big and physical for a flyweight. And most opponents in the big show are going to be like that. Nice good right hand there from Van. Oh man, that's another quick switch kick there from McLean. Van's going to keep that right hand nice and sharp. That's the second one he's thrown. Stepping elbow there from Van. That was crafty.
See Cleveland McLean there trying to gather himself, trying to keep himself from getting too excited.
Can't tell, but did he eat a left there on the way out? I wasn't sure. It looked like something stunned him. We'll have to maybe get that replay. Nonetheless, here we go. We keep moving forward in round 1, nearing the halfway mark.
McLean has landed some flush shots, and Van has reacted extraordinarily well. Playing him off, pressuring.
Yeah, Van is one of those guys that if you try to out-technique him, he's going to just turn it into a dogfight. And I think that's what he did against Paris Moran. He kind of, didn't go technique for technique. He stayed safe for a little while. They had some great exchanges. And then all of a sudden, Joshua Van just attacked, like out of nowhere, and just overwhelmed him and ended up getting, landing a few big punches. And I think that's the way he likes to roll. If he finds his opponent is trying to, only use technique, he'll sneak in there with some of those sneaky punches. And then whenever he sees you're hurt.
And it looks like Van just picks up on patterns very quick. He seems to make good decisions on predicting on what his opponent's going to throw, and he'll sneak on the inside and hit him first.
See, that uppercut just missed, but he kind of picked up on what Cleveland was doing, as you mentioned, Alex. He adjusts so well on the fly, does Joshua Van.
One thing I think that's very beneficial for Van is that pressure forward, putting McLean on his back foot. Oh, big right hand from Van. Oh, he threw that last one hard too. He's finding his range.
Might have to go back and look at some older fights, but Josh also looks a little bit more muscular for this one. Only 21 years old is Joshua Van.
I mean, yeah, he'll definitely develop more physically as he gets older. Another good right hand from Van. Decent knee there from McLean. Didn't hit super flush, but the intention was there. Van's got some quick hands, too.
Yeah, Van's coach is telling him there, don't overpunch. Just be patient. The punches are going to be there.
30 seconds left, round 1.
Good time, well-timed double there from Van. With the skirt out of a knee and an elbow, but he does have some back exposure. Oh, big high kick. That was awesome. McLean didn't see it. I didn't see it. And man, Van hurt him. Van hurt him. That was a close round. That steals him the round. He rocked McLean clearly with that high kick off the break. That was awesome.
A high kick off the break?
Off the break.
Oh.
I think he may have noticed McLean off the break would just fade to his right side low. Ooh. That's what I mean. You can see Van doing a good job predicting on what McLean's going to do when he enters and exits. And he'll throw the appropriate strike to kind of solve that riddle. That's just good natural fight reactions and IQ there from Van. There's a good right hand. I'd love to see that high kick off the break.
Yeah, that right hand just barely missed. Here's the break right here. You see him kind of push him over, and then boom.
I mean, that was foot to the face. Man, if he was an inch closer and got some shin on that cheekbone, it may have been a different story.
So Cleveland McLean getting those round 2 instructions from his corner.
That looks like they want to see some more head movement out of Cleveland McLean there.
Our recovery cam brought to you by Renfro, the makers of affordable premium smart home products. Go to renfro.com, use promo code Fury for 20% off their scales and massage guns right now during Fury FC 72 on UFC Fight Pass.
Good underhook there from Van.
Yeah, Joshua Van trying to get down. You can see nice elbow there. Looked like he was going to try to break, but McLean keeping the pressure. But definitely not where Joshua Van wants to be. Joshua Van wants to be in the center of the cage, kind of fighting at range, and definitely doesn't want this fight to go to the ground.
Reversal and takedown there from Van. And you know, you look at Van, you're like, oh, this guy's a scrappy striker. And then he hit what, a calf crush in that one fight.
Yeah.
He just hit a double leg on a good wrestler. I mean, and when he smells blood, he goes for it.
Yeah, and he smells it right now.
Oh man, he sees it.
And he's on the back. He needs that right hook.
And that's been the most impressive thing about Josh Van so far in his young career is the fight IQ of recognizing that, okay, I can give this up for that calf slicer. I can give this up for this big flurry of finish. I can execute this double. It's constantly evolving.
Yeah, and I say Joshua Van doesn't want to be on the ground, but I guess he wouldn't want to be on the bottom. But looks like he's not afraid to go to the ground at all if he's the one initiating the takedowns.
No, and he's doing it well. That was a reshot. It was a bit of a risk.
Hey, he wanted that calf crusher again.
Gonna drop into just a strong little leg entanglement there.
Got back up,
right back on the back.
Oh.
High kick again.
He is trying to create some interesting...
He's a risk taker when he's ahead.
Yeah, interesting finishes here. Well, we've got a little adjustment here. Hold on. We're good. I don't know what happened there.
So Van beat him, and I think I hit him in the cup. And then McLean was like, hey, let me alone. And Van was like, yeah, you cool? And the ref never saw it, so the ref never broke it up. And I think once Van realized the ref wasn't going to stop, he's like, all right, let's get back to it. Nice elbow. Van. Oh, a front kick to the face there from Van. Glances, but it lands.
Oh, man. Big rights from Cleveland
Oh,
McLean.
big knee. That hurt him. It was right as he shot, but that hurt him. These are good ground and pound shots. McLean's in more trouble than it looks like now. I mean, he's rocked. That knee hurt him. Those ground and pound shots dazed him. I mean, you can see he's not really looking super clear or direct.
Punches raining down from Joshua Van. Jeff Rexroad looking on. About a minute left.
Going for that calf push again. And McLean turns in, eliminating that chance for Van to get behind him. Van does a good job posting and getting up right on the back exposure. I mean, he turns an escape into an attack quick. You see McLean checking his nose. McLean's got some swelling on the top bridge of his nose. Van jumps to a rear naked choke.
Is this going to be enough for Josh to get the tap
I mean,
for the
Here
belt?
he goes.
This is in tight. Joshua Van, the fearless one. That right arm is deep.
It's under now, too.
And this is choking him the whole time this is in here.
I think
he's
we're
fighting
see a tap.
it.
I think we're going to see a tap here. I mean, that's deep. That's under, palm to palm.
Oh, this is going to be it. Josh Van for the 125 title, and he gets it. Josh Van with the rear naked choke win. What a moment. This kid is non-stop full of surprises.
Good for him. And then that's the smell of the blood in the water. I mean, he hurt him. He literally jumps on his back to choke him. That was awesome.
Yeah,
congratulations to our new champ.
Josh Van is the undisputed flyweight king. And I can't wait to see him at the next level, Alex.
He's great.
Oh my Josh. He continues to impress us, constantly evolving his game. Wow. Take a look at our highlights.
I'd love to see that knee in the clinch.
He slipped on that, but got the back immediately after. Here's that big knee. Oh, big connect. Josh strapped on that backpack. That right arm went in deep. Cleveland McLean tried to stay alive as much as he could.
I mean, yeah, he fought that as much as he could have.
Wow, what another great moment in an already packed year for us here at Fury FC. All right, let's go inside to make this official. Here's Wayne Leggett.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes. 4 minutes, 49 seconds into round number 2. Declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke. And new Fury FC flyweight champion, the fearless Josh Van.